Now, all the trade talk with the Chicago Bulls lies around one person. That is Zach Lavine. So, Zach has been a hot trade topic, I'm going to say, since early November. He's been on the cards for moving him and moving him for some pieces that better fit the team. But really don't know what the goal is for Chicago. We're a mediocre team at best. We're not a championship contender, and we're not tanking for draft picks. We're just existing at the moment. And although Zach has been a decent player, he hasn't been an exceptional player to be able to drag us through and get us to a level where we can compete for championships. And for a 5-year, $215 million player, you're going to want a lot more out of that player. Now, if we look at Zach's stats, so Zach, he signed $215 million in 2022, means he's under contract through at least 25-26 with a player option for 26-27. And I couldn't imagine too many teams screaming to take on that contract. Now, there have been talks, obviously the heavy talks have been around Atlanta, looking for a Dejounte Murray trade, but that didn't gain a lot of traction. And there's obviously heaps talk about the Lakers, but you couldn't imagine the Lakers taking on a $40 million per annum contract. But who knows where he's going to go, because we don't know the insides around that. There's also talk about Sacramento landing Kevin Huerta and Harrison Barnes, but Harrison Barnes feels like he's been in the league for 45 years at this stage. But you just don't know where he's going to land or if he's going to stay in Chicago. But he's 28 years old, in the league for 10 years. Most players peak in their early 30s. So he may have more potential left in him, but are you willing to spend $40 million per year to see if that can have an impact on your team? And I don't know, and this is why he hasn't been moved yet, because players aren't screaming for that addition. Now, he's only shooting 20 points per game this year. He's shooting 45% and 34% from the three, which aren't great numbers, even for being a two-time All-Star. Now, we have a look back at his games played. So, came into the Chicago in 2017-18, played 24 games, 63 games, 60, 58, 67, 77 in his All-Star, and then 25. So, not super consistent, not super reliable, not a great defender, which, as we know in this league, it's pretty important that you're a good defender. So you just have to wonder where the interest may come from. There's not many teams, maybe an up-and-coming team like the Pistons maybe want to dump one of their youngsters and try and pick up Zach and then use that as a way to get more youngsters into their team and acquire more picks. You just don't know what that looks like. But the word that comes away for Zach is people are saying he's a distressed asset. A distressed asset. I think that's the best way to put it. So, Zach, if you stay with Chicago, please, we need you to be a leader. We need you to step up and be the mature leader, highly paid, $40 million locker room guy that is going to inspire the young guys of Chicago to want to be championship contenders. Because that's what you are looking for in any position, whether it's my job, his job, even with, say, the place where I work. If there was guys making 10 times the money other guys were and they were doing not as much work, I think there'd be a bit of discontent. So no different. So is Zach going to be moved? I don't know is the answer, and I don't think Chicago knows what to do. Because if he stays and you're dropping $40 million per year, he needs to be averaging 30 points per game, bringing Chicago to top 5 in the East, and making us a serious contender in the East, because that's what you'd expect from a player on that type of pay. Let me know what you think.